What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. So I'm excited. Today's going to be a great ass time because what we're going to do is we're going to go through every piece of equipment I have behind me. I'm going to show you everything about my Twitch setup, how I live stream, every little detail, every piece of equipment, every wire, everything. Everything you ever need to know about streaming on Twitch, or at least how I do it. But real quick, before we start this bus up and we head on the little Twitch equipment tour, I just want to ask you a huge favor. If you could hit the like button down there, it'll help my algorithm so more people can see this and whatnot. And of course, if you don't subscribe, please hit the subscribe button. We got a new video every 3 days, people. All types of stuff coming. But without further ado, let's go on this tour, people. Come with me. Come. Wait. You coming? So there's a few elements that go with this Twitch setup, and everything starts with what I DJ with, obviously. So we'll start there, and then we'll work our way outwards, if that makes sense. So here's my DJ setup. I got a Pioneer S9 in the middle. I have two Reloop 7000 turntables. In lieu of using the needles or whatever, I do have the phase system hooked up. I keep that like right over here, right? And you plug that in the bottom. Obviously, I have my computer with my music and all that good stuff. So this is like my main DJ setup. Now, how I have it hooked up is I put everything through an external mixer. Now, if you're not familiar with running your stuff through an external mixer, I'll show you how I do it real quick here, but I also made a whole video about all the benefits of doing this. I always run all my stuff through an external mixer, whether I'm DJing live for a wedding or home right here for a Zoom call or Twitch. Always. So check out that video if you're not familiar. You'll thank me later, trust me. The sound is hooked up like this. So I have a dual RCA cable, right? Heavy duty one too. Always get a good one for your main thing. But that's coming out the RCA master of my S9 here. That gets ran through and ran all the way down, and it goes to dual 1/4 inch here into one of the inputs of my external mixer. So essentially the sound, the music, is on channel 4 here. So I have music on channel 4. As far as my microphone, I have a wired SM58, and that gets wired through an XLR direct into the mixer on channel 1, because channel 1 and 2 are like basically made for microphones and stuff. So that gets channeled into here, and then I have the individual control of my volume and whatnot for my microphone right here. Keep in mind, when it comes to your microphone, you can run it one of two ways. You can do it the way I do it, right? So it's direct into your external mixer, or you can run it directly into your controller or your S9 or whatever your main DJ mixer is. Completely up to you. Some people prefer to have it like in their S9 because then they have the on and off switch right there and they can use the echo effect and all that. I did that for a while, but I personally just like how the mic sounds going through external mixer, and there's a lot of little adjustments that this mixer has that's like made for microphones to really level everything out, and I geek out that sort of thing. So that's kind of why I do it. But you know, either way, are people really gonna notice a difference? No, I'm probably just a psycho.
Yo, I'm editing this shit right now, and one thing I forgot to mention about the microphone is that when you run your microphone through your external mixer like I do it, you can record in Serato like your mix, and it's not gonna have your vocals over top of it. So if you wanted to do a cool mix on Twitch, and you're obviously conversing and talking to the people like in the chat room, but if you want to have that mix recorded so you can post it on Mixcloud or something without your voice on the mic the whole time, which wouldn't make sense for like a Mixcloud mix, you can do so by running your microphone through your external mixer and not your actual controller or S9 or whatever, DJ mixer you're using.
So moving right along, I closed the blinds so it's not as bright, I guess. I feel like this will be better. So yep, so we have our DJ music, right, coming out of the S9 here. We have our microphone here. Then right here on the out, right, so you'll see the main output. We have two XLRs coming from here, one for each speaker. So I use two studio monitors when I DJ. All right, so when it comes to speakers, I made a video on this too. It's right up there. But as far as live streaming with speakers, I found that using studio monitors is absolutely the best. If you own them or if you can obtain them, if you have the couple $100 to spend, because they're not usually around $200, $150 a piece. They're the best because they're not gonna like travel through walls and wake up your neighbors. They're super precise, super clear. They have great low end. You know what I mean? And they're just the perfect streaming speaker where you can really hear yourself, you could feel your mixes and whatnot, but you're not waking up your neighbors. So I think that's the best of both worlds, but a lot of DJs will bring in their own personal PA stuff, if you got like a top, from your main wedding setup or whatever, you gotta do what you gotta do as far as music. The only thing to keep in mind is if you bring in any sub or if your top has a lot of low end or anything like that, remember that your camera can shake, and it could, every boom, 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 you know, like on a Busta song or something, and it'll mess up your camera, and your camera won't be able to stay in focus with the shakes. So if you do that and you're having a shake problem, one solution I found was to grab some foam. See the foam I have up here, like on the walls and stuff like that? It's just like basic studio foam. You can get like 100 of them for like $5 on Amazon or something like that. But grab some foam like that. I basically took 2 pieces of foam and I put it under each leg of the tripod. So the tripod's sitting on foam, and that completely solved the problem. So the last thing I want to show you guys is how the mixer is hooked up to the computer. It's really easy. It's just a USB cable, and it's one of the main reasons why you have to use an external mixer to live stream and actually sound good. So as you can see, you have a standard USB port in the back of the mixer that hooks directly up to my computer here. Then my computer reads it as a USB audio codec, and that's my sound. So that's the name of the sound card of this individual external mixer. So essentially, by hooking your mixer up to the computer, your streaming software should read your mixer, pick up on the sound card in the mixer. Then I make it through the software where the only sound going out to my viewers as I'm live streaming has to go through that mixer. Like, that's the only sound you're gonna hear. So if I wanna talk to people, I gotta say it in the mic. You know, the music's go through, everything else, and everything's nice and smooth. It's the way to do it. And another cool thing about having this external mixer over here is that you have multiple channels. So if you wanted to get crazy, if you wanted to add a piano or an extra mic or something like that, you have all the channels in the world to do it. Everything runs through there. You level it all out there, and then it sounds great coming out to whoever's streaming and watching you. Now let's talk about computers real quick. Now I use 2 computers to stream, and that's what I definitely recommend. I have one computer that's just has Serato on it. I just DJ with it. Then the other computer, I have a bigger 15-inch Mac. It's the same Mac I use to like edit these videos and stuff with. I use that to stream, and that handles all the streaming and all the stuff that goes with streaming, right? Like, you know, my streaming program, which I use Ecamm Live, and you know, it has everything ran through that. Now, some people use the same computer to stream and DJ, and you can do that if you got like a beefed up Mac or a beefed up PC, but it's a lot. It's definitely a lot for the computer to do, and I wouldn't, you know, do what you have to do for now, but like when you can, definitely try and get another computer to stream with, because it's going to make everything way smoother. If you are streaming with the same computer, right, you just have one computer to work with, I highly recommend streaming at 720. You know, so keep it 720, maybe 30 frames per second, and kind of lower qualities that way. There's options within streaming programs. Do you want a high quality video, high quality audio? Turn all that stuff off, because that's just going to slow down your computer. So you want to make it as easy as possible on one computer if that's what you're working with, you know. Now when it comes to software, I mentioned, so I use Ecamm Live. You know, a lot of people use OBS. That's like, you know, that's the cool software to use, right? Ecamm Live is almost like the virtual DJ streaming software. I'm just kidding, okay? But not a lot of people use Ecamm Live, right? The reason why I use it, back when we started live streaming, back in like March when like the world ended, me and Jeff were getting into it, and Jeff from SCE, by the way, he works for me, JSG. Follow him, he's the man. We were going through what we wanted to do, what programs we wanted to use, and he found Ecamm Live, and it was the only streaming software that was made 100% for Mac, and I liked that about it. So I learned how to stream through this program, and now I know the program inside and out, and it's like, am I really gonna learn a new one? You know, I'm just kind of gonna stick with this. I mean, it does all the same stuff I want it to do, so I'm just gonna keep it moving with this. But whatever program you choose, you know, tomato, you StreamYard or OBS, Streamlabs, like all this shit, like, you know, whatever works best for you, whatever works best with your workflow, do that. Now the program itself is really cool. It allows you to do pretty much everything. What I personally use the program for, I put my logo in the corner, right? So I can have like logos, any overlays. I have a couple different scenes. Like I have a scene that does like a zoom into my face. You know, you could set that sort of thing. I have scenes with videos in it, funny, you know, stupid videos. So I can just do different things with the visuals, you know, to kind of keep everybody entertained, and you know, I got videos I can, you know, take a piss break, put it on, take a piss break, leave for 5 minutes, come back, that sort of thing, make a drink, you know, so that's all necessary. And it also streams direct to wherever you want to stream. Now, if you want to stream to multiple sources, if you want to do like Mixcloud, you know, Twitch, Facebook, all those places, you can use something called Restream, and you essentially sign your streaming software into Restream. So your streaming software is streaming to Restream, and then Restream distributes it to all the different socials. But I just go straight Twitch because I don't want to deal with the bullshit. Quick little side note, when it comes to all those different scenes and stuff, I bought this little thing called a Stream Deck. It's a Stream Deck Mini. It cost me $100, I think. It was like $99.99. They make them in different sizes. This is the smallest one. but it's little buttons I can program to do anything. So I have a button that says, you know, go live, and I can click that to go live without having to go to my computer. And then I have buttons for all my different scenes, all my videos. And while I'm DJing and kind of like doing my thing here, I have this kind of to the side, and I can touch the different buttons, switch up the scenes on the slide, you know, so it's not super obvious. Really easy, you know. I like it. It's pretty cool. But before you go and look into these things, keep in mind there is an app. So you can download an app. I think it costs you per month. I have no idea what it costs, maybe $5, $6 a month or something like that. But you download the app, and the app can do the exact same thing on an iPad. So a lot of people opt to do that without having the hardware. Me personally, I'd rather just have the hardware. I know it's gonna work great. It's a little thing right on the side, $100. It was just worth it for me. And I'm not a big like monthly payment kind of guy. So that's why I went with this. But keep in mind, you know, for the monthly payment, maybe it's even free. I don't know, but there's definitely an app, and the app doesn't require you to buy the hardware. So, you know, consider that as well. It's made by Stream Deck. So if you look up Stream Deck app, it's gonna be, you know, the same thing. Now let's talk about video. This is my video camera. I have a GoPro Hero 8 with a media mod because GoPro sucks and they didn't have any of the outs on the original camera. So then they came out with an $80 or whatever it was media mod that you had to buy just to do any type of HDMI out or to power it itself. So whatever, that was bullshit. But anyway, I got the media mod, and what the media mod does is goes around your camera, right? You kind of clip it around your camera, and then it gives you two outs. You have an HDMI out, which is the black cable here, and then a power out. It's a USB-C power out, which is this white cable here. And that's basically how I hook it up. So you definitely don't want to run it on a battery because it'll die, you know, like streaming, it's hard on a camera. Cameras last maybe an hour and a half. So, you know, if you want to go longer than that, you just don't have to worry about it. So definitely plug your camera into a wall. Highly recommend that. However you have to do it, look it up depending on your camera. So I have that, I keep that plugged in, and then the HDMI out goes direct to my capture card. Let's go down to the capture card. This is my capture card. This is an Elgato HD60S Plus capture card. So essentially how it works is it takes an HDMI signal from going out to going in. So it switches it from in to out. Now these capture cards are super necessary for any cameras that aren't recognized by your streaming software as webcams. Webcams will just plug in and work. That's what they're used to do, right? Same thing with most DSLRs, they'll work with streaming programs. But when it comes to something like a GoPro, you need a capture card. To my knowledge, I mean, until they change it, they're gonna change it eventually. So how the capture card works, it switches it to in and out. So you have the HDMI coming from the camera going in here. Then you have the power, this is the power for it, that goes into here, so it's a USB powered. Then an additional HDMI comes out from here and then goes into here, into the computer. So this is for the power of the capture card, this is for the actual video. This goes directly into the computer and then you get video. This capture card was $200, I believe. They make one that's like $150, it's like the 4K stream thing or whatever. I'll put links in the bio so you can check it out. I like the 4K one better. This is more for like if you're streaming your Xbox on Twitch, you know, you're playing Call of Duty or something, but it still works great, you know, and it was the only one available at the time when I bought it, so that's why I bought it. As far as lighting, I do have one light here that I just shine right on my noggin so you can see me at night, but if it's during the day like it is right now, I usually open up my blinds and just use like the light from the sun because the natural sunlight actually looks pretty dope on camera. I do the same thing with my actual videos, so it depends. If I stream at night though, I have this light set up and I'll kind of face it direct, right? So you can kind of like see me. And then to supplement the lighting, I have two up lights right here. They obviously shine from the ground up, so they'll light up behind me. And what's cool with the uplighting, if you have it laying around, definitely use it because when it lights up behind you, it lights up your silhouette, right? So it kind of like gives light to like around you, so you're more easily seen and you pop from the background, if that makes sense. So between one light direct at my noggin, two up lights shining up here, and it looks cool in the records and whatnot. Then maybe if I need it, depending, I might put on the top light up here, like my ceiling fan light, just a little bit. It's a faded light, so I can fade it just a little bit to light the top of my head. And then it's good, and then the lighting is actually pretty good. As far as color correcting, if you want to get crazy, all the streaming programs do color correcting. It depends on, you know, what program you're using, you know, to tell you how to do it, but you go in there and then you can actually mess with the white balance, the saturation, all that to make sure you're not getting washed out or, you know, that sort of thing. So there's one last thing I need to show you guys. So when you're streaming, you want to keep up with your stream. You want to be able to watch the comments in live time, right? You want to respond to your viewers. You want to thank them if they, tip you or subscribe, or they're new there and they follow, or someone raids you, right? You want to keep track of all this stuff. To do that, I use Twitch's Stream Manager. Now, Stream Manager is nothing you have to buy. It's built into Twitch. So if you log on to Twitch and you go to your account or whatever, in there you'll see a thing that's called Stream Manager, and it's literally made for you to use while you're streaming, because it has all the notifications right in one place. You can see everything that's going on. For me personally, I use my iPad. It's pretty cool because the iPad's a touchscreen, so I can scroll up if I missed a message, you know what I mean? If there's a lot coming in, so I can control it that way, and it works really well. So this is my iPad Pro. I have it on a little stand here, and I have it on a bigger stand on a speaker stand. So 1, 2, 3 stands to hold this bad boy up. So I have my Stream Manager on here. I can keep track, I can touch it and go through, so it's perfect. It's right off camera, so you can't see it on camera because I have like a narrow frame of view, so the camera cuts off here. So it's right off camera, so you can't see it. And yeah, it's a perfect way to kind of keep track of stuff. If you don't have an iPad laying around, you could use your phone. You can use another laptop if you have one. You can use a desktop computer. For a long time, I had an iMac, and I ran an HDMI out from the iMac and went directly into like this little shitty TV I had. I have a little 27-inch little TV I bought from Walmart for like $80, and that worked great. The only problem with that is if I missed a message, it's going too quick, to scroll up. I was trying to use a mouse and it was just a pain in the ass. Whereas like with the iPad, you could just use your finger and it's super easy. And that's it, people. That's my entire streaming setup. If you don't have one at home yet, I highly recommend investing in it. It's going to be a big part of our future as DJs, not just to stream on Twitch or Facebook for fun, for ourselves, but also for clients. I've had several streaming events so far this year where people were socially distanced and whatever, so they just wanted to have a DJ, but they didn't want me to come because I could cough on them. So I live streamed, and I actually made like DJ money doing it, So there is a market for this as long as this thing's going on. So you definitely want to, know about it, educate yourself, and set yourself up at home. Set yourself, grab a little corner and make yourself a little streaming setup. It'll be a great place to practice whenever you want to practice, and then you can go live and stream for people all around the world. It's a really, really cool technology. It's crazy that we even have it, so utilize it. Trust me, once you do it once or twice, you're gonna fall in love with it, and you're gonna keep it going, and then you're gonna constantly try and evolve it and try and make it better, and what cool things you can add, or green screens, whatever. There's so many like possibilities, so it's such a cool thing. I'm pumped up about it. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you have any questions or comments, or tell me about your streaming setup, like what do you use? What do you do different than me? Let me know in the comments. I'll be getting right back to you guys. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you people in 3 days. Peace out. Oh, I got a boom. Shit.